And hello everyone in podcast land. Thank you so much for returning to the Healthy Tech Talk Podcast Network. Today I have a special little entry, and whenever I blog on something on my blog, I like to follow it up with a little video teaser, and then later on, if possible, sometimes if time allows, I will do an audio podcast on that very same subject as well as our weekly audio podcasts. So today's blog entry is entitled Clear Communication is Very, Very Important. And in brackets it says timing is good too. So let me explain exactly what I mean by that. Clear communication is important. When I was with the training and development department at one of the largest call centers in North America, we would take the agents that are just freshly trained, and so they had all the tools to help the clients overcome their challenges and fix their machines, whether it be a printer or a mono plotter or a computer or desktop or laptop machine. And we would take them into a training room and we'd say, okay, we're going to find out how good your communication skills really are. And this was a fun little experiment. This is an experiment that IBM made famous in the late 60s, early 70s, actually probably mid 60s. So what we would do is we would take 8 people, 4 on each side of a table, and then we would put a big piece of cardboard up about neck level so you couldn't see what your partner was doing on the other side from about the shoulders down. And then we would give them a Lego kit. You remember Lego? Lego is those little plastic blocks, different sizes and shapes, and they have little dimples on them so you can connect them and make houses and cars and things. So your partner that was sitting across from you would have the exact same number of pieces, the exact mirror duplicate Lego kit that you would have. So if I had 14 pieces, they would have 14 pieces. So we would ask one side of the table to do one thing, and that was to use their imagination and make the most bizarre Lego creation they could ever make. Don't be normal, don't be usual, just make it very strange. And then what we would do, and we would give them about 5 or 10 minutes to do that. Then the other side of the table, and this is where it got really interesting, they would have to ask closed-ended and open-ended questions and recreate with their Lego kit what their partner had built. And let me tell you, there was a lot of laughter and a lot of chuckles and a lot of jocularity during that exercise, but it taught you a very, very valuable point. People were phoning into the help desk center, and some of them were basic users, and they didn't know a thing about computers. And a technician would start talking from a highly technical standpoint of view, and you would completely lose them. And I mean, right now you would lose them. And it would not only frustrate the consumer, but it would frustrate the technician as well, the help desk technician. So we had to teach them a system of mental imaging pictures so they could form a picture for the client in their mind, present that picture to them so they could work with it properly and appropriately, and in order to get something done, because they couldn't see the person on the other phone. So all they had to rely on mental pictures, right? When I'm talking to you, you don't see the letters coming out of my mouth. You form mental pictures as I'm talking to you. So this exercise really proved that if you asked one wrong question during the interview process, you got it wrong, and boy, oh boy, what you made on your side of the Lego and what they made had nothing to do with each other. So it was a real eye-opener for those technicians. And so what we're going to do is we're probably going to put together an audio podcast in a little while to complement this video teaser. But I thought it was very important that, you know, when we're working with technology, we have to make sure that there were clear, concise steps of communication in every level. And it's very frustrating for new users, even for mid-level users, even for technical users, when a manual isn't written correctly or something is said on the internet that you think, huh, what? That doesn't make any sense, because the internet is full of really good information. But sometimes it's full of disastrous information, and you have to know how to decipher it. Now, I'll give you a real-life example of clear, concise communication and how important it is. So here we go. We have 3 cats, and we used to allow the cats in the bedroom. And I used to take a glass of water in the bedroom at night, because sometimes I would get up, or like not get up, but wake up, and I would be thirsty, so I would drink the water, right? So we both would do this. So one night it's pitch black. I can't see anything in the bedroom, and I hear this sound. And I kept hearing this sound, and I'm a very, very heavy sleeper. And I turned to my wife and I said, "What is that sound? It's driving me nuts." She said, "Oh," she rolled over half asleep. She said, "That's the cat." And I said, "Okay, what is the cat doing?" And she said, "Well, he's drinking out of your water glass. He's got his head right in your water glass and drinking." I said, "What?" I said, "Well, when were you planning on telling me this? When did this start?" And she, in a half-awake state, she said, "Oh, about 6 months ago." And I said, "Well, did we have an argument that you were mad at me and you didn't tell me?" She said, "No, I just forgot." So you see, timing is very, very important. It's almost critical, because this is the same animal that licks himself for 10 minutes and then he would come and drink out of my water glass. I was tasting hairy cat water for 6 months before my wife told me about it. So, and then, to add insult to injury, I look over at her side of the bed after this conversation and she doesn't have a cup. Oh, no, 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 no. She has a water delivery system. Yeah, it's a Lexan cup about this big, and it's got an ornate, child-proof lock cap on it with a straw. And I'm thinking, okay, it's impossible for the cats to get into that straw. And why didn't I get a straw? You know, why? This is unfair. So I was trying to extract some revenge the next day. I was trying to teach the cats, okay, come over here. And I was trying to teach them how to drink out of the straw, but they just wouldn't listen. See, originally I was a dog guy. I love dogs. I had to compromise and settle for cats. I was so disappointed that I actually tried to teach the cats how to bark. That didn't turn out so well. They just looked at me like I was stupid and turned around and walked down the other side of the hallway. So I get that look a lot in my house. I don't understand why. Anyway, so I thought I'd give you a true-life example of why crystal clear communication is extremely important. Enjoy the podcast, folks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.